Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Fairy Fountain Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Highland Hero, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Slime. How's it going?
It's going. Let's just say that.
No, I feel it. Definitely not feeling the Halloween holiday spirit. It's been a tiring bit of time, but as usual, we're here to talk about everything that happened last month in gaming, so we'll be talking about everything that happened in October. I think there's no better place to start out with than we finally got to see the Mario movie this month.
Yes. So I have a video which I didn't want to post because it's a little too late for that, but I have my live reaction over on my main channel, but we are going to be talking about it on the main show next month, I believe, so be looking forward to that. But as a general sort of consensus of everything, it's surprising. It looks pretty good. I had pretty low expectation. Like, I didn't expect it to look bad by no means, because I trust
you expected it to look like Illumination movies, they have a certain look. Yeah. I mean, and this looks much more polished.
Like, people clown on them for being the funny minion fart joke people, but their movies are they're fantastically animated.
They're fun.
Like, they're
fun. They look great. Yeah.
So the only thing was just how were they gonna look? How were they gonna sound? And so far, I'm trending positive.
So I think the big concern going into this was Illumination is very commonly known to try to cut down the cost as much as they can on every little thing.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they try to make movies as cheaply as possible, so them looking as good as they do is honestly pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But I think the movie looks fantastic. I think, especially on characters like Bowser, they look really well polished. They look really detailed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I have to talk about the elephant in the room. How do you feel about Chris Pratt?
Okay, so at first I was like, a lot of people are like, that's just Chris Pratt, and I couldn't tell for the life of me that was Chris Pratt. I'm like, that's Chris Pratt, but it also at the same time I was like, that's not Mario either. But a lot of people are like, I assume the consensus is like, oh, I want him to sound like Wahoo Wahoo the whole time, which no, you do not. What do you want him to sound like, a minion the whole time? No, you don't. But at the same time, it seemed like he didn't really try either. He didn't even know what a Koopa was, so
he's been jumping on them for all his life.
I've been jumping on Koopas.
That was so hard to watch when he was talking about it. Like, you were talking out of your ass.
Yeah.
But the thing with Chris Pratt was, in interviews leading up to this, he kept saying, oh, I can't wait for you guys to hear the voice I make for it. It's nothing that you've ever heard from Mario before.
Yes, we have.
It's Chris Pratt. Yeah, of course we haven't. It's
regardless of Chris Pratt, but regardless of that, that's just Mario's voice, not in the games. That's just what it I don't know if you've seen the cartoon, if you've seen the live action. He's from Brooklyn. Regardless of what it is, that's just their accent. Right. There's nothing special about it. It's just Chris Pratt didn't try. That's the problem here.
But outside of Chris Pratt, Keegan-Michael Key, I really like how Toad sounds.
Yeah.
Jack Black absolutely is going to kill this movie. Not a question. And it came out after the trailer came out that both of them apparently have musical scenes in the movie.
Leak is real.
So it's looking like at least part of that leak is real, if not all of it.
I don't know about, so far we've heard nothing about Yoshi, and his voice actor, so I don't know if that portion of the leak is real, but general plot-wise, it's pretty simple. It's a combination of 64, Mario Bros. 1 and 3. Yeah. It just makes sense. It's a simple plot.
My thing is, with Yoshi, if he's in, wouldn't you have thought that, or at least if he's voiced, wouldn't you think we would have a voice for them by now?
Yes. That's why I don't think he's in the movie. Well, I think Yoshi's will be in the movie, but not Yoshi, if that makes sense.
It does.
I don't even know which Yoshi is Yoshi, because I'm thinking about Yoshi's Island. There's multiple Yoshis there, but I don't know how to explain it. Just
I think the
there's a
green one
Yoshi
is
egg in the trailer, so or there's a
Yoshi.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the race
Yoshi
of
will be in the
Yoshis.
movie. There's
Yeah.
no way the race is not going to be in the movie. But I don't know if besides like maybe like a travel companion or something like a horse, they're going to really be in the movie much.
No. Like I think I'm sorry. Keegan-Michael Toad will probably be the main travel companion, and
for sure.
Luigi as well. He's that I don't. There are some people saying he's gonna eventually join up with Mario, but I think he's gonna be the B plot for this movie. It kind of makes sense since they separated him in the trailer.
I think
at what's going to happen is that they're going to be together at the beginning with Foreman, Spike, and Donkey Kong. I don't. There's even in the leak. I think Donkey Kong eventually joins up with Mario. I don't think that's going to happen either. I think it'll just be an opener, and then boom, Mushroom Kingdom plot, and then Luigi is shot out of a different pipe, goes on his own little thing, and maybe it'll tie into like whatever the next movie is, something like that.
I do think we'll see Donkey Kong and Luigi meet up with Mario past the Mushroom Kingdom entry point. I don't know how much of that movie it'll be, but I definitely think the focus is going to be Mario, Toad, Bowser.
Peach, and then same with Donkey Kong as well. Like he'll exist in the movie, but I don't think he's gonna have a primary role outside of maybe teasing whatever the Donkey Kong movie is gonna be, which we assume is all happening with the Super Nintendo world. So again, I think his existence is just purely to exist and to flesh out this new world that we're looking into here.
Yeah. What really surprised me was a couple days before the trailer aired, McDonald's actually leaked Toad and Mario's designs. Yeah. We saw Peach's there as well, but Peach was not in the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I thought it was weird.
Originally, a lot of people thought it was fake even after the movie came out because there's a little bit of differences between them. Mm-hmm. I think the McDonald's is just like warped or whatever, so I don't really know what's going on there. And to be honest, I what's weird is that they look pretty similar and the logo's right and everything, but if they haven't even finished the lighting on the movie, there's no fucking way that they printed McDonald's marketing stuff this early in the game. Like even people that I know that work at McDonald's are like, we don't even know. Like, I mean, obviously they wouldn't know that deep about it, but if they have things printed, usually, I mean, even then, sometimes they might do it like a month before the movie comes out or something like that. This is still way too early for that, which is very.
The movie doesn't come out for 5 more months. I mean, come on. And that trailer was a month ago.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. But I think the movie's... What's up?
I forgot to say at the very beginning of this, PSA, Pokemon leaks, be careful. They're popping
up all over my Twitter.
Yeah, tread your internet exploration, what's the word? Just be careful.
Tread lightly, be careful. That's why when we get to the Pokemon segment, I'm going to have you lead it because I have seen a good number of the leaks and I don't want to reveal anything.
I've seen them, so I really don't
care. You're more knowledgeable in Pokemon. You know what's been announced and what hasn't been. But anyway.
Well, it's kind of been hard because you're like, Pokemon will find a way to get 50 more trailers, and I didn't believe you, and here we are, like, 5 trailers in.
Basically.
Every week there's been something new.
The one we got yesterday, I watched it with my fiance as we first woke up, and neither of us could figure out what they were announcing.
That's what I was like, what? This is... why are we making a new trailer? It's like... What's weird about it is that even... between these important trailers, there's also been the TV spots that have been releasing as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you haven't released anything new here except for the song. So, which is going to be in the game too, by the way. Which is crazy.
I got mad at it because I just sat at the end of the trailer and I'm like, you made me listen to Ed Sheeran at 7 in the morning? Why?
I don't like Ed
Sheeran very much.
No.
Any final thoughts before we move on about the movie?
No, just watch our episode on it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's coming up here pretty soon. Yeah. But going on for that, I don't know if they already finished acquiring the production studio, but Nintendo Pictures
I believe
now
it's
has
done.
a website.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
I couldn't remember if it was last time or this month or whatever it was that it finally like was finalized, but
I think
there
that
is a trailer
website.
website.
I think that website kind of set it in stone. I think it's like
Yeah.
like it's. I think it's been in the back burner for a while now, but I don't think they're
Yeah.
gonna be doing anything with it for a while. It's just like just their landing page. Not
I
very
think it
much.
might not with the website, but with the pictures. Like they're gonna do stuff with their games. They're gonna do stuff with movies.
Do you
It's
think?
exciting to see.
Do you think that this Nintendo Pictures thing will have like what? For example, Sega has their own movie, not a studio, but like they have their own sort of like animation thing for the Sonic movies.
Yeah.
Do you think Nintendo Pictures is gonna be their
Oh yeah, for
opener
sure.
thing?
Yeah, I 100% believe we're gonna see that in like after the Illumination logo going into the Mario movie.
Okay, because I was just thinking about that earlier. I was just like, isn't Nintendo doesn't really have like a like intro card because it's different for like every single game. With Sega, it's the same one. They have the eyeball thing or
the question I have is if we go into like February or March next year and maybe Nintendo decides just to get really confident and be like, we're making a Donkey Kong movie coming out in a year or two. We're gonna do something with maybe Zelda or something like that. If they do something like that, maybe the Nintendo Pictures like cinematic would have like a bunch of Nintendo IPs. But I'm kind of worried if they don't, like it might just be a special opening for every series. Like Mario will have a Mario themed one. Zelda, if they make something with that, will have Zelda. I don't know.
like what you think it'll be like a completely new thing, or like what Illumination does, where like for example like the Secret Life of Pets, it was like a minion interacting with one of the characters, something like that.
Well, that's why I kind of want Nintendo to be more open about their cinematic and like movie TV show stuff before the movie comes out, because I really like what Sega's is like, and I kind of think Nintendo should do something similar. Like have a little bit of Mario in it, a little bit of Zelda, like Animal Crossing, Splatoon, all their big IPs just showing up in that little opener, just so non-gamers who have to go see these movies with their kids or family,
Like the
they
Marvel,
get more eyes on them.
like the Marvel one.
Yeah. Not as like grand as the Marvel one, but something like in between.
They could do the Smash 4 opening.
No, bring back the that one trailer, the TV ad that came out before Ultimate that everyone was like adding music to.
Oh,
make something like that.
I forgot
That'd be
about
cool.
that.
But anyways, not really Pokemon, but somewhat Pokemon. We got our next Splatfest announced for November, and it is a Pokemon-themed Splatfest. You can choose between fire, grass, and water types. Which is your favorite?
Fire.
Are you participating?
I maybe. I haven't. I literally haven't played since the last Splatfest.
That's fair. I play a little bit, like a couple times a week, so I've been like slowly getting like the early bonuses for like the shirt or whatever.
Yeah, I need to maybe like work into my schedule like a night a week where I play with some people, but I just haven't really had any motivation to. So
that's fair.
And with my last Splatfest experience, like it was just a slog grind fest, to be honest with you. Like it was just like some sort of incentive to get people to play again, and since launch, it's like there's not enough that entices me to play other than like let's fight for like competition. But even then, it was just like it doesn't matter because we know who's gonna win anyway because of how rigged it is. But
yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Splatfest. Like I love that they bring a bunch of people in to play, but then you can only play Turf War and Salmon Run. You can't play ranked. Yeah. It's an entire weekend. And a lot of the times the topics are very one-sided.
Yeah, it's
so
like a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah,
too.
big man sweep," and then
he has like anything.
I mean, he's been able to compete, but it's just I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think so many people are gonna go fire this time. Mm-hmm. I'm going fire. So I mean,
which is weird because I think. Let me think about this. Charmander, Cyndaquil, Torchic, Piplup, Oshawott,
Yeah.
Greninja. What was Alola? Oh, Litten. Oh no, it is primarily fire. Scorbunny. Yeah. I was trying to go through them, but I think water usually is like my second pick, but I've never chose grass except for this time because I'm picking Sprigatito.
I think this is the Scarlet Violet are going to be the first time I go grass type with Sprigatito.
Same. Yeah.
But usually, I usually go fire every generation.
The only time I kind of went grass was yellow because you can get all of them in that game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, Fennekin was Gen 6.
Yeah, I didn't like Fennekin for some reason. Well, obviously
I loved Fennekin.
Everyone gravitated towards Greninja, and then my second playthrough, I chose Fennekin. So
yeah, I mean, and Gen 7 was
Litten, Popplio,
Litten.
Yeah.
I went Litten. Gen 8, I went with Scorbunny.
So fire.
So I mean, I have to go fire.
Mm-hmm.
But that's happening.
You're the Pikmin guy. Why don't you go grass? Aren't Pikmin grass type?
Well, there is no grass type Pikmin. There's actually fire, water, rock, stuff like that. There's no grass Pikmin.
Normal?
No, those are the fat Pikmin.
They're just
those count as 10 Pikmin. I'm not even kidding.
I don't know how it works. I still have Pikmin 3 that you made me buy, and I haven't touched it.
Fine, I understand. All right, now we got to talk about some pretty shitty news. Over the last few weeks, there was a bunch of controversy around Bayonetta 3 because Helena Taylor, the original voice actress of Bayonetta in 1 and 2, came out and basically said to boycott the game because Platinum wasn't paying her enough, citing she was only getting paid $4,000 for the entire game. Fans got really angry about that, yada, yada, yada. A few days later, it comes out that they offered her between like $15,000 to $17,000, I believe it was, to voice the game. She said no, and then was offered the $4,000 for a cameo, still said no. And she has nonstop been trying to save her ass, but the fans have turned on her. Everyone has turned on her. And it's honestly a shame because she has completely shot all of the voice actors who want to fight for more pay right in the foot.
I've been so mixed about this story because a lot of people made it seem like she was shitting on Jennifer is the new one, right?
Yeah, Jennifer Hale.
So a lot of people made it seem like she was shitting on her, but I don't really know what goes. Okay, there has to be, other than like now a lot of people are like she's just a shitty person. Why would she do that? But just why? There has to be a reason. There's something that instigated her to do this. Like there's a reason why she didn't come back. Like either she mistreated someone or something went on the back burner on the backside that we don't know about. And I have a feeling that Helena is probably the good one in that story, but because she fabricated some alternate story, she basically ruined her career. And again, that's why I'm on the fence with this one, because it's just like, what the fuck happened? Like,
it would have been so easy for her just to stay quiet, keep doing what she was doing. It wouldn't have. I think it ruined a lot of people's perception of Bayonetta's voice in those first two games. Obviously, the performance is fantastic.
Yeah.
But now any Bayonetta fan who goes back and plays them are like, well, she's kind of a shitty person.
Yeah, I don't
basically.
know. It's I don't know. She basically ruined her reputation for something that is basically nothing. And again, like I said, like I don't know what happened on the back side of the story, but it just sucks because now, well, I wasn't planning on getting Bayonetta 3 in the first place, but it makes me not want to get it even more because I don't understand anything, and like it just seems like there's a lot of controversy, and it's more piling on to that fact that nobody cares about voice actors in general. It's a larger story that people need to start talking about, and it just sucks it has to end in such a negative way. Do I have a hot take on this? Like,
no, I don't think so. Like, My take on it is Paulina Taylor is just a horrible person for going out and doing that. Like, I'm sure something happened behind the scenes. I understand not wanting to re-voice the character if the money is not worth it. That is completely valid. I'm not going to be upset about that. But she lied about how much she was getting paid. She's acting. It went from, oh yeah, 4,000. That's not a lot of money for 16, 20 hours of work. To you're getting paid $1,000 an hour. You're not going to get much sympathy from people on that side of the scale.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
No,
but on the other, oh, okay. But on the other side of that, you had the director. His name is eluding me right now. Losing his mind on Twitter. He doesn't usually anyway, but he went a special kind of psycho. Like just going on mass blocking spree.
Well, he always does that, right?
Hideki Kamiya, yeah, he was being real. He's usually very block friendly. He's like heavy and stuff like that, but he was just sending really cryptic tweets. You could tell he was pissed. He should have just shut up and not gotten involved the way he did, because they're both in the wrong.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I'd rather not keep up with drama. It kind of makes, like, when I first saw this, I completely brushed it off, and then, of all people, Charlie Moist Critical covered it, which is like, okay, and it was just this anime plot twist arc story, and it's just, I'm tired.
It was exhausting to follow. Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
let's go ahead and move on from that. I don't want to really worry about it. Bayonetta 3 reviewed well, so if you played it or planning on picking it up, I heard it's a great game. Go for it. Mario Party 1 and 2 were announced to come out on NSO on November 2nd. This is the first time. This is the first time, I think, since like the initial batch of games, we've gotten 2 games in 1 month, though. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that we've never had 2 games at all.
Yeah, but I mean, how you announced 3 Mario Parties, you kind of have to schedule it out some way, and I guess knock out the first 2 in one go, I guess.
Yeah, I assumed we were going to get everything else but Mario Party first, and 007. But...
Well, I thought we were going to get, like, Pilot Wings, which came out this month, we'll talk about it later, then, like, 1 Mario Party, then GoldenEye, then Mario Party 2, then something else, then 3. I thought it'd be staggered.
Yeah.
But maybe that means they have more coming out back half of 2023 that we just don't know about yet.
Again, I think I'm pretty satisfied N64 wise right now. Again, it's cool that we're getting Mario Party and 007, but I'm pretty satisfied. Again, I've been waiting for GBA and Game Boy forever. I'm going to be talking about this for the rest of the time.
Same.
Every time we bring this up, it's just like, well, why isn't such and such console on there? But again, it's cool to have it. It's just, I can't really talk about it because I'm not a Mario Party guy.
Well, here's my hot take on it. Like, besides, like, the Zeldas, Mario 64, and a few others, the N64 lineup was not good. That's probably a hot take. I find that lineup very underwhelming.
It's okay.
Banjo's great.
It's not underwhelming. It's just
limited.
You have to have grown up with the system, and like, it's not like a GameCube situation where it's like there wasn't any games that released for it. There was just like a few heavy hitters, and that's it. With N64, you had to have been there and played like almost every game that the system had to offer for it to be warranted for anything. Because a lot of people have nostalgia for it. With the GameCube, there was just a lot of shit on the console, which led to its downfall. Wii U had a marketing problem, but GameCube just had a lot of crappy stuff and the discs and everything else. So N64 is not a bad console. It's just like you had to be there to experience those games, to like those games. And you're right.
Like, the amount of N64 games, fantastic. The Zeldas, Mario 64, Banjo, all brilliant games. There just wasn't a lot of them, and it's at the point where I'm like you. I'm like, okay, I don't really want any more N64 games. Let's move on to GBA Game Boy. I'm ready. I was really surprised it didn't happen this year, but next year, who knows?
Yeah, I was like, they're testing it.
It's going to come at some point.
This leads me to the point of, like, I know that they, as a video game company, you have to fill out your library up until your last year, but it just makes me wonder, like, are they going to continue NSO into the next console? Because I don't want to start over again with like the Wii U, going to Wii U to Switch eShops and, you know, Virtual Console and all that. Just, I don't want to start over again.
We're not going to.
And it just makes me ask the question, like, so we're so late in the Switch's life cycle that do we want Game Boy, or, you know?
Yeah, I firmly believe that the next Switch is going to be another Switch. So we'll get the Switch 2. They can keep the NSO branding. And if in some situation it's not, they can just change it to system name online. I don't see them restarting, especially because we'll talk about this next month, but they just announced a collaboration with DNA to do more with their digital presence.
I did see that video on... and I'm going to stop naming them because I'm going to get canceled for watching them. But I did see a video, but I didn't think anything of it because I feel like we've been talking about a DNA collaboration for like ever now. So
they've been doing mobile games for 7-8 years with Nintendo now, but now they're actually stepping up. They're going to do stuff with their digital background or whatever.
I just wonder, are they ever going to actually change their online infrastructure? Because they kind of did. Was that 2019? Like,
I think it was
late 2020?
I think it was last year or 2020 or
when people found out that they were still using Windows XP for their online or Windows 98 or whatever.
Whatever it was, yeah.
But it just makes me wonder, like, when we come to the Switch 2, do you think they're just gonna, you know, upgrade all the games to the new servers, or if we're gonna get new servers, or if we're gonna get P2P or whatever it's called, or if they're gonna actually... Like, I don't think we need the same level as, like, Xbox servers or whatever. Just something slightly better, I guess. Because
I don't want to go too deep on this topic, because we talk about the Switch 2 a lot. We're getting closer to it. I still firmly believe we are a year and a half, 2 years out from that next system. I mean, they haven't even announced that they're working on it yet, and people are, like, thinking it's going to be out in 6 months with Zelda. I'm sorry, they're
not a
crazy.
Switch 2, maybe a Switch
no, that's
Pro,
literally
but that's like 25%.
I hear people talking about it all the time, because a lot right now, because the Switch is starting to slow in sales, which, shocker, 19 million systems sold in year 5? Go for it. But now the talk is, oh, they need a Switch 2 by next year, it's gonna die. And like, ooh, maybe they'll launch it alongside Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like... We haven't even heard, they haven't announced that there is a next-gen system. Of course there is.
Yeah.
But they're not going to announce it from scratch and release it within 6 months. No. Maybe not even 12.
Not a whole new, if anything, we'll get a new model, but even then, that's unlikely.
Well, right now, my thought process is they've got Tears
OLED light, sorry, with Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
But no, they've got Tears of the Kingdom coming out. They've got Pikmin 4. They've got DLC for half a dozen games that came out this year coming out next year. 2024 at the earliest for next gen. I get it. The Switch is really showing its age. But I think the only game that's going to be cross-platform this generation, maybe besides like new games that come out solely for the next gen that just come out on this one, like as we saw at the PlayStation, is Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
But outside of that, sit tight. We might get a revision. They'll announce the next system probably in 2023 at some point, and it'll come out some point in 2024.
Anyway, back to the original topic.
Yes.
Mario Party.
I mean,
I don't know.
Mario Party, yeah, they're coming.
Pilot Wings
we're known for our ramblings.
It's not very fun. I don't know. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I like
cool
the one
that
on the 3DS.
It's kind of a Wii Sports kind of game because it's the same world, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, if I'm going to play a Pilot Wings game, I'm going to play the one that launched with the 3DS, and even then, that one's really short, so it's not for everyone.
I didn't even play that one. You know what games I played with my 3DS at launch? I played Face Raiders, Rabbids in Time, which I hated, and Lego Star Wars 3. That was
I had Nintendogs, The Sims 3 on 3DS, and Pilot Wings.
You didn't play Steel Diver?
I didn't. At the point, I was not into like that kind of game. I was like, that seems too annoying for me. I'm not picking it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much we're gonna say on this, but Konami finally woke the fuck up and announced some new Silent Hill projects. I
I did
believe
not see
there's.
this.
I didn't either. Like they announced. The funny thing was they announced it as a live stream, and then like 5 minutes before it was supposed to go live, they uploaded the entire video to YouTube.
Okay.
I'm dead serious. It was hilarious. Like everyone knew all the announcements before the live stream started.
Huh.
But there's like a Silent Hill 2 remake, a few other projects. I figured I'd just throw this in just in case anyone cared.
All right.
They're back. Also this month, Splatoon 3's amiibo that were announced back in the August Splatoon Direct got a release date for November 11th.
Still don't know anything
They're not
about
doing.
Sephiroth.
Yeah, they're not doing a 3-pack for the Splatoon set though, which is kind of funky. They are in
Wait.
other territories, not in America though.
I really? They market
Yeah,
it
they're
as
doing one in.
such, which is weird.
No, they're doing one in Europe and Japan, but not the U.S. They're only individual here.
They just, and which is interesting. This is also something to note. This is a genderless collection. It's a Inkling, an Octoling, and Little Buddy, which is way different from what they used to do, which is male, female, and an ink or like a squid, an actual
Inkling
squid.
or not? Yeah.
And then they did the same thing with Octolings later, but it's Inkling, Octoling, Little Buddy this time, which is new.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get them on Friday. They have not gone up for pre-order on Amazon, so I haven't gotten a pre-order yet. So, hoping pre-orders come up there, or I get lucky on Friday with GameStop.
I am done with my amiibo collecting unless Sora somehow gets an amiibo.
I honestly hope after the Smash line's done, they only like give new amiibo when new Smash characters get announced in the future. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm coming up on 200 of these fuckers. I'm tired of cleaning them every 4 months.
I honestly didn't even like pay attention to amiibo when it was big, like when it was actual thing that people cared about. You know, the only time I actually was interested when people started talking about their amiibo collections, when I was like, oh, there's a couple of those that look cool, and then because I don't really care about like 90% of Nintendo franchises. I know, shocker.
Well, that was my original plan. I didn't go into Amiibo thinking I was going to collect all of them. Yeah. And then I was, I got Link, I got like a couple other ones. I was like, okay, I'm content with this. Mm-hmm. And then I was at Target one day and I saw Wii Fit Trainer. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, I love this character. Picked it up. I found out she was rare. And then my blood just goes, I need Villager. I need Marth. I don't even know who the fuck Marth is, but I need Marth.
Yeah. I mean, like, even to this day, like, the best amiibo support is in Mario Maker 1, which...
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess technically Smash, but even then it's pretty limited. I've always had these pipe dreams of, like, oh, they should add, add amiibo support to Minecraft, and you can get, like, special DLC or skins, and even that would have more value than anything that they're doing nowadays, so...
I know Amiibo really got big when the fad was dying for like Toys to Life games, but I'm still so disappointed we didn't get anything like that with Amiibo.
Because they didn't take advantage of it. They didn't take advantage of this cool system that I mean nobody did. None, like even Skylanders didn't take advantage of it, and they, with all the sales that they had, they thought they could they could replace Spyro and Crash.
I don't think Nintendo had any idea that Amiibo could even ever reach the heights that it did.
I think
it came out in the Wii U era.
I think that going forward, I think that they should still continue because there's no official Nintendo like product line. I guess they only release like T-shirts officially, like through them. They usually go out with like third-party outsourcing things like plushies and things. So honestly, if like the technology, if they just stop doing the technology and re-releasing like the figures, I think that would still sell just as well. I think that.
I mean, I have a completely different stance on these back when I was buying 40 or 50 a year compared to maybe 10.
God,
I am so
40 or 50 a year?
I mean, I was there every single launch.
I have 5.
No, I have my Zelda and like the Smash ones I couldn't fit in the living room over here. I've got like Kirby and like a few others over there. I've got like display cases in my living room for all my Amiibo. And then I have a tub in my closet full of the ones that didn't fit.
What?
I have upwards of like 190 right now.
What the hell?
And like the first couple years, I was buying every single one. And I still do with like the Smash and the Zelda ones. So,
I missed that
it
whole
adds
era.
up.
I feel like early Wii U, early 3DS, like I just wasn't conscious of like
Yeah.
gaming news, but it's what the fuck?
And I mean, right now I'm at the point where I don't buy the Monster Hunter ones. I don't buy like I am never gonna get the Tiki amiibo. I'm never gonna get Box Boy, and I'm okay with that. But right now, I just want to finish off my Smash set. I'll buy any new Zelda ones that come out for Tears of the Kingdom because some are gonna come out for Tears of the Kingdom. And I don't want them to retire them, but I don't have a desire to buy them really anymore outside
because they're
of just
not being used.
Completing the collection.
Like there's
It's not even that. It's just I'm running out of space, and I know that's just a me issue.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only a few more characters that really don't have representation that I think still need amiibo.
Yeah.
But long rant over. Let's move on to something that we're going to jump past really quickly. Persona 3 and 4 on Switch got release dates of January 19th, which I believe is a day or two before Fire Emblem comes out. So, interesting choice there.
It's like
I'm not picking them up if I'm
Sonic Frontiers.
I mean, at least those are different genres. This is literally two RPGs coming out before an RPG. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But I'll pick 4 up eventually. Yeah, for sure. I can finish a 60 to 100 hour RPG in a day, for sure.
Yeah.
There was a really cool Tears of the Kingdom Link statue that was shown off at Nintendo Live in Japan. And that was beautiful. Have you seen the statue?
Yes, but I thought it was just a regular Breath of the Wild pose.
No, it was the statue with like his arm out and like his magical arm, whatever, his hand, whatever it was. It really detailed, and I really think that's going to be like similar to what we get as an amiibo in May, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Finishing off the amiibo news for this episode, there was like a pop culture con held somewhere in this last month, and we got to see looks at the Sephiroth and Kazuya amiibo.
Oh, yes,
they look
I
great.
did see that, yeah.
I just don't know where Pyra and Mithra are. I was surprised we didn't see those there.
No, I don't know. But I think we did see the Sephiroth amiibo in the...
Yeah, we saw...
We saw Sephiroth, Kazuya, and Pyra and Mithra in the Steve trailer, I believe. It just said,
they have been announced.
Coming later or whatever.
Yeah.
So
those are all announced. Right now, the only one that we don't have official confirmation on is Sora.
Yeah.
So, I think it'll come, but it might not be until, like, the end of next year.
Yeah, I just wish that... See, I don't know what happened, because it seemed like they were going pretty smoothly there. Like, you know, all the... Honestly, they probably should have released all of the new cast when the game released, or, like, within a month of the game releasing, and then doing DLC, like, maybe not day and date, but, like, pretty close to when they released, because now we have this backlog of amiibo, and we don't even know if Sora's coming.
I mean, the similar thing happened with Smash 4. Like, the fight, like, Cloud, Bayonetta, and Corrin, they all came out, I believe, 15 or 16 months after their DLC dropped.
Yeah.
So this isn't, like, a rare thing, but we at least had confirmation of every single amiibo before the DLC development was done.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a will they, won't they with Sora, and I think they will, purely because I think Sakurai would have been, like, very cut and dry with, like, Sora was such like a fantastic opportunity. However, we could not. It is not possible at this time to make an amiibo or something like that.
Well, even back then, like when Steve was announced, we didn't even know what his amiibo looked like. So
exactly.
So it was like we're very far behind.
Yeah, they'll happen eventually. I think we'll get like the official release dates for Sephiroth, Kazuya, and Pyra Mithra. Probably in like the February direct or just a Twitter drop, and Sora might be like a E3 2023 announcement or whatever.
Maybe.
But cool nonetheless. Something also cool that we don't have any news for quite yet is, I don't remember what this was for, but there was like pizza boxes sent to like certain Crash fans, and on the side of the box it said like, it was like a deal on a pizza for like 12/9 or something like that, which is the day of the Game Awards this year. So people are speculating. Let me send it to you real quick. People are speculating that it's going to be that Crash Wumpa League game that Liam Robertson's been like leaking for like the last 2 years.
Wumpa League.
I don't know what it is. I believe it's like a fighting game or something like that.
I know that they've been teasing a game since Crash 4. Like
I'm sending you the IGN article now.
You can't send it on Discord because I'm recording the screen, so I don't.
Okay. Well, anyway, you want me to send it to you on text, or I can just read it out to you?
Aku Steam in a Pizza Shack in Steam and Pizza Shack.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then, like, at the corner of the box, it says, "Hungry for more? Try our new Wumpa pizza for $12.08." And the Game Awards is on December 8th.
Huh.
So we're probably getting a new Crash announcement in December, and I'd imagine it's the Wumpa League title.
I honestly thought we were going to get Spyro 4 first, but I guess maybe that's probably canned. Because they were teasing that for a while.
Well, it's Toys for Bob that was developing it, and then a year or two ago, they all got pushed into making Call of Duty for a while. So I think they're just now like finally getting to do their own thing again.
Yeah.
So it probably did get canned, but Crash is still alive.
On life support.
Basically.
Which sucks.
I think they just want to use that costume one more time at the Game Awards.
Oh.
Yep.
They could have used it for Smash.
I thought they were going to. How disappointing. In some sad news for Twitter.
I have to go on this really quick rant.
Go for it.
It was literally set up perfectly. He literally could have recreated the PlayStation
that commercial
beat for beat.
Yes.
Yeah. Literally say, "Hey, plumber boy." It would have been perfect, but anyway,
they could have had like Mario, Link, and a few others just walk out of the building, just like ready to fight.
Yeah. Or they could have referenced the Smash 64 trailer too with all that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you know what? We can't get all of our favorite characters, so it's all right.
Yeah.
In some sad Twitter news, one of the best gaming, they're not a news outlet, but they would recap all like news and stuff, presentations. Nibel has left Twitter.
So not to get political, but there is a primary reason why he did this, and this also kind of leads into a little bit of Nintendo news actually, because Elon Musk purchased Twitter, which is strange because we heard about it this year and somehow the acquisition. He
backed out. He got threatened to get sued, and then he finally just gave into it before he got sued. It's
which is weird because how come the whole Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft acquisition is taking like a year and a half to go through, and this Twitter acquisition is going in within 6 months?
Well, right now, for Microsoft, Blizzard, like Activision, stuff like that, it's worried that it's going to cause a monopoly. Elon Musk buying Twitter is not seen that way.
Okay, so it's a lawsuit thing. That's why
it has to go through. Yeah, it has to go through a lot more hoops. Sony's trying to stop it. Other places are trying to stop it. It's just a whole big thing.
And I think on top of that too, the workplace problems are taking priority because you can't have two lawsuits at the same time.
I mean, you can, but
back to that. Because of the acquisition by Elon Musk, which I mean, you can hate the guy all you want, but so far not much has really happened. However, because of politics, which I hate with a burning passion, like I believe it was like 12 or something company. I can't remember the actual number, but there's a lot of companies that backed out doing advertisements on the platform, which caused Elon to make Twitter Blue seem more and enticing, whatever. So changes are happening, unfortunately, but that just probably, which it's the last straw for Nibel, unfortunately. Again, back to that. Nintendo was one of those people, so you probably see less Nintendo ads. But back to Nibel, that was the last straw for him. But regardless of that, it seems like he's been going through some struggles financially and mentally on top of that. So he just finally said, "I'm done." So
I mean, the amount of work that goes into running an account like that is just insane.
I believe he was doing it for free until he opened a Patreon a few years back.
Yeah.
So
but Naiba will be missed, but if you need somebody that does something similar, Wario64 is still on Twitter.
We're
Seems
here.
like he's still kicking. We're not that kind of account. God, no. Um, but he did great work over the years, and it was really sad to see him go.
Is Nintendo that same? Do people like Nintendo?
Nintendo's Nintendo's more of a Nintendo focused one, and I think they're pretty quick about it, but I don't really follow them too much because Wario64 just posts everything.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I've
Yeah.
I've only followed Nintendo. I never really. I've seen Wario 64 pop up for like deals and stuff, and
Yeah, and that's
Nibel
really a lot of what he does.
Nibel kind of comes out every once in a while, just like after things happen, which is because I usually get all my information on the forefront on YouTube, and then I go to Twitter and everyone's retweeting Nibel, so it's just like
Yeah. Nibel would always cover like the big stuff. Wario would cover deals, events, all that stuff. So if you like put your notifications on for him, you get like a tweet basically every 15, 20 minutes, it feels like.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I literally just got one. That was perfect timing.
Yeah. But yeah, rest in peace, Nibel. Well, not his Twitter page. But yeah.
Hasn't been deleted, but it is locked, so people can't steal the username or whatever it is.
I mean,
the handle.
I would think at the very least he would leave his tweets up, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Oh well. I'm gonna hand it off to you because it's Pokemon time.
Oh boy. So I believe we got.
What do you got for me?
2 trailers this month. Actually, let me pull it up real quick. Just like we did last time, because
there has been some really cute Pokemon that got announced last month. I will say that. I like 3 of the 3 big ones.
So the problem with covering these at the end of the month is that you have the problem of
they're old, and now the game's leaking.
And there's more news that comes out after the next month. But so starting the month, let's see, when was Wiglet? Was September 29th. Okay, so we got the trailer called Jump into a Paldean Journey, which includes the new evolution of Girafarig, known as Farigiraf, as well as the announcement of how breeding is going to work. So there is a new campsite part of the game where the replacement for Pokemon Ami, replacement for Pokemon camping from Gen 8, and basically this new version is you're able to basically throw out your Pokemon anywhere. And I think Legends Arceus kind of had a thing like this, but it was literally just the photo mode. But here, you can interact with your Pokemon. You can interact with your friends' Pokemon, and every once in a while they'll lay an egg. So that's how the new breeding mechanic works. On top of that, you'll also be able to make sandwiches, which is the curry replacement. As for and I believe they showed off. Well, they do a lot of recapping, which is kind of annoying because it's hard to weed out the new stuff. We also got the confirmation that Pokemon abolished gender, which means that you will now start the game, you'll now start the game as just a person, and you can customize your look out the get-go. So it's not a choice of 8. You can customize your character with a limited set at the beginning.
So and then basically what Splatoon did.
Yeah, so you have a limited set, there's no gender, you just kind of customize your character, but there's a lot more variety than both Splatoon and Pokemon games of old. There's a lot of variety out the gate, and then as you go into the game, I think when you start you only have school uniforms, but as you go on you can customize that more. I don't know if they announced the photo mode in this trailer or not. But there is a photo mode as well that you can take selfies with your Pokemon and your friends. And one more thing as well with that trailer was your friends can join your camp as well, or your picnic, I think it's called. Your friends can be there and they can throw all their Pokemon out. And you can have what's 6 times 4?
24.
24 Pokemon out at a time, which is... I don't know how the Switch can compete with that, but next up is they showed a really, really good song. Pokemon and Ed Sheeran collabed for a song called Celestial, which was shown in the recent trailer that came out this week, which we're not going to talk about. But that Celestial is going to be in the game, which is crazy for Pokemon standards because a real song is going to be in a Pokemon game.
I mean, not to get off topic too much from Pokemon, but I think Nate Wants to Battle got one of his songs like he made for Sonic into Frontiers, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, really? Yeah, I did not know that.
I believe it's like at the end of the game or something like that.
Really? I think people heard it and thought it was Nate Wants to Battle because it sounded like him, but I don't know if it was.
No, he's in the credits.
Oh, he is? Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's fun. You love to see
it's
things
really
like
cool.
that. Like imagine
Right?
just being like a super fan of something and making videos on it, and they're just like, "Hey, you want to make a song for us?" I would melt. Like
I know, right?
yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
Next up was the teasing because it was like a week-long event for a VTuber. Pokemon announced another gym leader and a new Pokemon in the form of a VTuber. Her name is Iono, and she is very cute. Everyone likes to talk about things about her, but most importantly, the two big things on her head, people speculating that those are going to be Pokemon, but according to leaks, I guess this is kind of spoilers, they're not. She's right. She said it in the trailer. They're not Pokemon, but they could potentially be in like DLC or something like that.
Right.
But the Pokemon that did get announced was Bellybolt, which, if you don't know, is actually a beta Pokemon from Gen 2. With some of
Wait, really?
Yes. So it is very similar to a beta Pokemon from Gen 2, having the eyes be the nose and the fake eyes. Yeah, so it's a little bit different. Colors are different. I think the beta Pokemon has a bigger tail, but it is very reminiscent of a beta Pokemon from Gen 2.
Nice.
So she is the electric type gym leader. I don't know what city. I haven't been paying attention to city names or anything. Next up is a new ghost Pokemon by the name of Graveyard. Graveyard.
Is it Graveyard?
Graveyard, I think.
I thought it was Greavard, but I'm not sure.
I assume it's supposed to be like a combination between a breed of dog and Graveyard.
Yeah.
But
I think it's like a Bernard and like a Graveyard or something like that.
And it literally killed somebody in the trailer. But no.
As it should.
It is it's very important because they did a trailer similar to how they did with Legends Arceus with like a normal trainer going out in their hunt in the Pokemon world, and I kind of like those trailers a lot. What's interesting about Graveyard is when you find him in the wild, you can just see his little candle head in the floor, and you can just find him that way, which is kind of cute. And I believe that is it for new Pokemon information this month.
There was also previews from certain gaming outlets.
People got to play the game, which and the reception has been generally positive. There's literally everyone has said the same thing, which is so strange. There was two major issues. Once they hopped into Starlight Valley, I believe it's called, or Star something Valley, which is like one of the major outposts where you find Mela of Team Star. Is it Team Star?
Not sure.
Whatever. The evil team, they hopped into it from like the back way, like over a mountain, like, you know, with like you would in any open world game. And it was funny because they said, "Hey, you're not supposed to be in here now," and then they forced you out the front. Which I guess is pretty funny,
cool.
But I guess it's kind of limiting for the open world. They're like,
well,
maybe I wanted to sneak in or something. And then the other thing is some performance issues, which is to be expected, but also at the same time, with all the leaks and stuff coming out recently, it seems like the performance is generally a lot better. So that's good to hear, because I believe Legends Arceus had a few performance issues as well. But that's about it. It's so far so good with this game. This is probably the most positive I've seen the Pokemon community be in years. So
yeah,
I think people were skeptical, and of course having 3 Pokemon games in the last year and a half was a lot for people. But as we're getting closer to release, people are getting excited, and so am I. So I didn't even have these games on my horizon until literally the last few weeks. So.
No, we are 9 days away from the game coming out.
Yeah.
There's been no backlash. There's excitement. Pre-orders, especially in Japan, are going through the roof. It has the potential of topping Splatoon 3's launch weekend. I think it's going to, so
Everyone's like,
I'm excited.
With all the leaks, they're like, I'm canceling my pre-order of Pokemon Violet and pre-ordering Pokemon Scarlet.
I told my fiance that yesterday because I haven't followed the tweets, and he's just like, huh? I'm like, I think there's better Pokemon, and he's like, I don't care.
Although,
like, fine. I'm the one playing Scarlet, so
not to talk about the leaks too much, but I kind of like the futuristic Pokemon designs a little bit, but just
really okay.
Yeah, but it's very hard. I'm actually, well, it doesn't matter because I'm getting both, but I'm fuck. I'm very thinking pretty hard on which one to start with.
I'm very happy because I like the past ones more, and I have been gifted the opportunity to play Scarlet because my fiance is the bigger Pokemon fan and he wants Violet. If it was me though, I would have went with Violet.
Do you have a Costco where you live?
Yes, I do, and I have a membership.
Buy Pokemon from there. It is cheaper, and you guys. So buy the double pack. It is I believe $20 cheaper buying it from there. Yes.
Okay, good to know.
And it gets you both games and like Pokeballs and stuff.
Well, right now we had the double pack on Amazon pre-ordered, but then Target showed up and they had like a little figurine statue at them. I'm like,
you won't be able to pre-order it and get stuff, but it is $20 cheaper because that's generally what I do with Pokemon releases.
I might actually go through with that because $20 is $20.
Yeah, and no one there's not like I bought it day one. There was like not really a line or anything because I don't think people know. But
whenever I see gaming stuff at Costco, nobody's ever around it.
Yeah,
like they're looking at the TVs, they're looking at the computers. They're never in like the Switch eShop gift card section.
You always forget that they sell games too because they're not like front and center. They're just kind of like
it's always in like a little tiny corner. They've got maybe like 2 displays and that's about it.
And I'm sure that most of that stuff is on like not a sale but cheaper than retail most of the time.
Usually, yeah.
So because I believe I got my original DS Lite from there, not like my grandma bought it. So I think it might be cheaper to buy stuff there especially because
I believe it.
Usually they do like bundles and stuff. So
yeah. All right, I think that's covering the news for this month. Now we just have only a few game releases. It's not like this was a pretty big month for third parties. Starting off the month, we had Nier Automata come out. Did you play it at all?
I'm broke right now.
Valid.
I'm actually worried I might not be able to get Scarlet and Violet. So.
Right. Well, it came out. I haven't picked it up quite yet. It looks good. I'm hoping to get it after I'm done with Persona, but right now I'm not in a rush to pick it up. Same with No Man's Sky that came out like the next day. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope came out last month. That game, I know you don't like it. You can sit down. That game
I'm going to stand
fantastic.
up and you know what?
You know what? You stand up. You do whatever you want to do. Just yeah. If that's how you feel, fine. But
no, you know what? I feel why Miyamoto. You literally sat down in a room with the people who made annoying rabbit creatures. What is wrong with you?
They're not that bad in these games, though.
Okay, that's the problem. They are weird. They're not even rabbits. They speak English.
They do speak English, and that's my biggest like critique about the game. By the way, given I finished the game, look for my like review impressions type thing in the next week and a half or so, hoping to get that out before Pokemon.
Oh, but how? But side note, let me pause real quick.
It can just be me talking. It can be like a review impressions kind of video, like Arlo does, and just be lazy about it.
All right. But yeah,
I'm not going to be super picky about it.
I at the very least gave it a chance. I did watch Hero Volti play through it, and it just seems very repetitive. It's just
that's valid.
I don't know about the first game as much, but I have some critiques just looking at it. It's just like it doesn't seem fun because I was watching it, and there's like I think generally there's about like 10 different side quests that you can do, and they're repeated over and over again.
They're not okay.
And then like when you get into the battles are like sometimes upwards of an hour long.
They are not upwards of an hour. Like the longest fight you're gonna have is like maybe 15, 20 minutes. And I will admit that is long.
It is long.
But I find the gameplay to be fantastic. It's more polished compared to the first game. The story is actually not. It's a Mario game, so it's not going to be amazing. But for a Mario game, it's good. But yeah, like you were saying about the repeating missions, there's like 3 different people that show up in every single world, and they basically give you the same thing. And it does get tiring. I will give you that. But exploring the worlds, they're super creative. It's a lot of fun. So
as far as I've seen,
it's not for everyone.
Comparing both of the games, I think what's weird about it is like I would prefer battles in the overworld, but the way that the game is structured, it makes the worlds, especially in the first game, very angular and square, which allows them to be more creative in the second game, which I do like. I will agree with you. The areas are very nice looking and very creative, not very non-Mario-y, which leads to another critique of the fact that it feels like Mario is in a Rabbids world rather than both of them combining. Like a problem.
That is very fair. Especially in Sparks of Hope.
Yes, like a Paper Jam situation where
I get
it's
that.
like where it's like a Rabbids world or a modern Rabbids world, I guess, where they're just like blocks spattered around, literally like Paper Jam, which
Not
again, it's creative, but it doesn't really cross over, I guess.
Basically, you see Peach's castle in the beginning of the game, and you see a familiar location from one of the 3D Mario games towards the end of the game. But outside of that, it is absolutely uncharted territory, and it feels like you are in a Rabbid universe, not Mario.
Yeah,
I will give you that 100%.
It is, and technically, I think story-wise, it is a separate universe as well. But even in the first game, wasn't that a separate universe too?
Yeah, they're the same universe. It's literally a sequel to the first one. They just
like more planets, I guess. Were they planets in the first one? I don't know.
No, Rabbids 1 was a streamlined, so you did everything in the overworld, so it was very linear, so you just walked on a set path, basically.
No, I meant the worlds themselves. Like, were they Mario worlds?
Well, no, it was Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, it was them? So what, it was just like themes, like New
So
Super
basically
Mario
what
Bros.
it was Peach's castle that was like the hub location in the front, and then the other 4 worlds were just in a circle around it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, actually.
So, like, you'd go back to the hub, and you'd, like, go somewhere else to a different world, then it'd be, like, a straight line all the way to the end of the world, basically.
Because I saw...
Not a straight line, but...
I saw, like, the opening 20 minutes or so, and they seemed like they got teleported somewhere, and then it was just, like, this weird hybrid Mario Grassland Rabbid thing.
No, it is the Mushroom Kingdom, but, the story is, like, the scientist girl somehow... She's like a gamer girl, and her invention or whatever it was, like, combines Rabbids and Mario characters, and that's somehow how they end up in the Mario universe, basically.
Okay.
It's definitely not canon.
And like the Donkey Kong DLC is they go to Donkey Kong Country or something, or Donkey Kong Island, or whatever.
It's kind of like that, yeah. Basically, that DLC. The big boss battle for the first world is Rabbid Kong, and the DLC starts right after you defeat Rabbid Kong because he's like the main villain in the DLC. So it's just you follow Rabbid Kong after.
All right, sorry for that tangent, but like it just seemed like it. I guess that was just Sparks of Hope. Then that's kind of like a Rabbids game with Mario characters in it. And it even leads more to that because as the DLC goes on, they're trying to remove Mario characters, which is so weird.
In the Rayman DLC, you do not play as a Mario character.
No,
you play as Rabbid Mario, Rabbid Peach, and Rayman.
Which is strange because like, why can't you just play as all the characters from the base game? Like, unless
it was like that with the Donkey Kong DLC too.
Oh, really?
You had Donkey Kong, Cranky Kong, and Rabbid Peach.
What the? Okay.
No, somehow Rabbid Peach ended up like getting launched with like the Rabbid Kong and just ended up somewhere else and met Donkey Kong and Cranky.
Like Rabbid Peach like the main character of this entire series?
No, literally, I think she is because they even gave her like an Instagram account.
What? Okay, all right, never mind.
I'm dead serious. We can get off this now, but
I'm done.
It goes deep. And Anyway, moving on from that, I just started playing this today, actually, which is Persona 5 Royal came out on Switch the day after Rabbids. So far, it plays really well on the Switch, but I'm still like an hour in, so time will tell how it holds up. Because I got to the end of the first palace in the PlayStation version like 3-4 years ago, and I got stuck on the boss fight because I was underleveled, and I just never like went back and grinded. So I'm hoping not to make that mistake again. But last game we really need to talk about, which we basically did already, Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
Nothing more to say. It reviewed well. Neither of us have played it.
Review.
Has he come out with a review?
Yeah, it came out a few days ago.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
He was making fun. He literally, like, every joke was like a Devil May Cry joke. That's about it.
I want to pick it up eventually, and I did have it pre-ordered because I pre-ordered it like when it was first announced, and Amazon dropped like the pre-order price by like $10 to $12. So I was gonna see it through just because of that discount, but I did cancel it after hell, and I made those first claims, and
yeah.
I mean I saved $50, but
yeah,
it was
I don't know.
It was
it's
for
just
nothing.
not my cup of tea, I guess.
I still need to play through 1 and 2. I have them. I've just never gotten farther than like halfway through Bayonetta 1.
I just feel like at this point, like my friend, my cousin actually, he says he likes Bayonetta, but I highly doubt he's ever played a game, and he he likes the character in Smash, and that's pretty much about it.
I mean, I think that's how most people probably know Bayonetta.
But I just feel like, which is weird for Sakurai, it's just like it seems like all Bayonetta's character is being sexy, which is like I feel like it's deeper than that. But that's all I get from Smash.
Well, that's the thing. That's really all they thrown out to her, besides like her witch time, and
yeah, she's like a sexy, basically naked witch because her clothes are made out of hair.
Basically, yeah.
Hair. All right.
But I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be good. I'll pick it up once I finish the first 2, but that might not be for who knows how long.
From what I've heard, it's a lot different from the other 2 games.
It's unique. I've heard it's a lot more unique, but it doesn't land the same way the first 2 did.
I think, from what I've heard, I think the story is taking a step down. So,
yeah.
In favor of gameplay.
I don't want to spoil it, but I guess they go pretty crazy with the story at some point. So, take that as you will. All right. Well, is there anything else that we should discuss before we wrap it up?
No, it was pretty light.
All right.
We need to stop with these tangents, or is that the purpose of the show? I'm not sure.
Honestly, at this point, I think it's like half the purpose, because I think we added on like an extra 20-25 minutes with those tangents today.
We could have been done 30 minutes ago. Like,
we haven't had a short episode since like our second episode of this series. Come on. I think every single episode is at least almost touched an hour, besides like that one that barely crossed like 35 minutes.
We sat here every time we talked 30 minutes about the Switch Pro. So
literally, I am so tired of hearing about it, because it's like every few months. Oh no, the Switch forecast went down 2 million units for the fiscal year. It went from 21 to 19. Oh no, the Switch is dying.
Yeah, and it's either we talk about sales, NSO, or a Switch Pro, and then it's all ties back to a Switch Pro. So
the kicker is next month we get to talk about the sales, so we have financial news to talk about.
Great.
All right, but thank you guys so much for watching. For anyone that did, check us out on our
people that watched this show.
Hi, thank you.
And the 50 people that watched the other show.
I know, right? If you don't follow us on our social medias, we're both on Twitter. I'm sure you can find that in the description below. And check us out next time, where we go over Nintendo's sales results for June through September or something like that, and
hopefully Mario Kart.
Hopefully Mario Kart, if it comes out this month. Probably the new season of Splatoon. I think that comes out the 30th. And of course, we'll probably have some pretty lengthy impressions on Pokemon.
Yep.
But, all right. See you guys next time.
Bye.